Ukiona wale wanatengeneza mapicha na kutengeneza picha kama wameweka mtu kwa jeneza na wanaweka jeneza kiongozi wa taifa. Mimi nataka niulize, and I want to ask this question to every parent in our country, and particularly the church leaders who are defending this bad behavior, and all those politicians, including those who don't agree with us politically, who are defending this behavior. If tomorrow your child goes to school today and another child whom they share the same class sends a picture, the same picture, when your child has been put in a coffin, will you still defend that behavior? Because when that message is sent to your child, what is that errant child saying? He is threatening your child that I will kill you. And we are here clapping for behaviors that have been perpetuated for a long time. I want to assure you, Your Excellency, myself and our team in Interior, we are going to relook at this behavior, and we will make sure that we will charge all of those who are using this social media to threaten others. Because if we don't do so, we will not have a country that is in order. We must bring order to our country because we want Kenyans to live in a nation that is orderly. And we want those who are in charge, those who are in public service, those who are in politics, wa support rais wetu kuhakikisha kwamba nchi yetu inakuwa ni nchi ambayo iko na law and order.
And that is the stand of the government. The big question is, will they manage it? And by the way, how did we reach this point? How are you, Kaboko?
Oh, I'm super good, Coach.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we've seen Murkomen give us the statement of the stand of the government. How did we reach here? What are the young people doing that makes them feel unsafe that much?
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Murkomen is speaking about the morality of the young people, trying to claim that they're doing such a very evil act through the use of AI technology that we've seen leaders of our country, even of a neighboring country, Uganda, Museveni, he has been placed in a casket, and some are also in graves. And just afterwards, later, Murkomen was also placed in a casket. So he's trying to say that they are strategizing and finding ways that they want to sue all these people, and nobody will be left. Yeah, because he's saying this is such a very illegal act, and they have grounds in accordance to the Constitution so that they can sue them. So my question is, are really the persons who are in the government, led by President Ruto, are they really understanding the youths or understanding what the youths are up to, that they're coming with this strategy, that they're speaking war against them, that it can be used to solve the situation? I can say the government have not understood the youths, and they don't really know why the youths are using the AI technology. Number one, the youths started criticizing the government for a while now, and it is the government that hasn't answered the needs and the questions that the youths are demanding for. And therefore, they are just coming and getting new strategies in which they can fight and criticize the government in so many ways. And now we see the AI. So the government is trying to say that they are ready to fight against the AI technology. You know, this is something that is not just happening in Kenya alone. It is something that it's a trend worldwide. Even in the United States, in these big countries, big governments, we see the AI technology is even used to mimic real voices of leaders, and they used to pass misinformations and all that. And it is one of the crises that the world is facing today, and also cybercrime alongside. So the government of Kenya cannot say that it can really fight the youths in the use of AI technology, maybe the social media. You know, this is an open space where it is a free expression place, and they're questioning morality and that. You know, the government, it is not the purpose or maybe the role of the government to enforce morality in its citizens. It is maybe the work of the parents and everything. But the youths of Kenya are using this because the government has not reached the role that it should play. Yeah.
Okay, if you look at 2024, the year that just ended,
Yeah.
we had the young people come out to protest against the finance bill 2024, of which the finance bill just escalated what had been growing, because the young people were uneasy with whatever the government had been doing for the past 1 year or so. And you realize that, first of all, the government, most of these big people said that there's no revolution that has ever started in, like, no revolution is done in social media. And then later, you realize that even these young people, they started explaining, because there was misinformation about the finance bill, and our parents keep buying the lies from the politicians. So to avoid that, these young people decided to use the social media to explain every bit by bit of the finance bill. And this was done both in English, Swahili, and the native, like the local languages that the people use from different communities. And with that, people were charged and came out and protested, and then this finance bill was dropped. Though some of its particulars are still coming back slowly by slowly, according to the finance cabinet secretary. So my big question here is, I've brought that story so that we look at when they started saying that social media could not be used to drive a serious motive or a serious mission. It was used.
Yeah.
And then people were killed. So many people were killed. So many young people were killed. And then the young people maybe thought of it, and so maybe the streets are no longer safe, so let's retreat and then re-strategize. And then one of the strategies they're now using is now the use of AI technology. So whether it's a call for IBC to be put in place, whether it's a call for the politicians to behave, because look at like the example you're giving of Museveni. When he just said such things cannot happen, he found himself in a casket. So do you really think the government can manage this situation? Can they really manage to maybe kill it completely? Or whatever they are doing will just escalate things?
My first point and my direct answer is that the government, with the strategy they're trying to employ, they cannot manage. And when you're speaking about these people thinking that there is no revolution that can be done in social media, that person must be so much out of date. Recently, when Facebook caused a revolution in Egypt, it was massive and the government fell down. Yeah. So these technologies that are getting advanced time and time across the world, they have marks that they live with them. So AI is also here, and across Africa, you find this thing is so rampant in East Africa, Kenya especially, and it means a revolution is picking up. And what I can say in Swahili, we say penye moshi pana moto. Yeah, to mean we can smell there is something that is coming. I say a revolution is coming. And if it is not addressed quickly, we will see a difference and a lot of changes, and governments will fall. And especially here in Kenya, the nature of politics will fall completely and will change. Because here is the government seeing the trend of AI coming, and they're trying to use force to counter it. A thing that they didn't introduce, they didn't even maybe send a message or a call, or maybe they were not there in the formation of AI and everything. So it is something that is coming and it's going with the time. It is here to stay with us. So they can't just say that we are going to use force. It is something that is introduced into the youths of Kenya already. So this is my advice to the government. The youths are unemployed. Yeah. Taxes are high. Yeah. Them in universities, they cannot manage the fees. Yeah, for example, even the new funding model in universities, it is not favoring most of them. And you find that when they are trying to address these issues, they are being faced with brutality, the so-called police brutality, as they are still saying that is what they are going to do still. So my advice to them, if they were so careful and they could listen and they can study what history has for us. History is one of the best teachers we have. They should come up and gather together and address these concerns. Even AI is both, is a double-edged sword. You can say it can be used to destroy and also to build. So the government can even introduce this AI in a manner that maybe the use of AI technology in economics in creating employment opportunities, like even supporting these tech startups, that such minds that they can use them to build the economy or to do something that is productive, or to be in the world of inventions. AI can be applied in the areas of agriculture, in everything, in any sector of economy. AI is used. So if the government can think that productively, then it will bring a solution to the situation that we have today.
As we wrap up, just in brief, this is my final question. I'm wondering if the government and those who make the government are really using their brains when thinking and talking to the public, because does it mean the law is applied selectively? Because recently we have a whole CS of Interior complaining about people being put in casket and that being illegality. Just in the recent past, we had people abducted. We've had people killed when demonstrating something that is guaranteed within the Constitution. It's a right guaranteed within the Constitution. We've seen nobody held accountable for these acts. We've also seen politicians who are allied to the president, like Farah Malim, Oscar Sudi, and the likes, speaking and threatening people. They even actually insulting people, calling people names. Does it mean that it pinches the most when it is on their side, but then when it comes to the citizens, we should just assume that things are normal? Does it mean that in Kenya, the law is enforced selectively, or what is happening? Is this the fall of the government, or is it a government in making?
Oh, this is what I can say. It is just that these people are drunk with power. Yeah, it is just that they don't really understand what is happening, and they're not really ready to listen and to understand the situation. And when you see them abusing people who are trying to fight for their rights, and in a position of being a leader, or maybe being a governor, an MP, or a CS, you get to the public and even abuse the public. And what maybe the mistake that it's you who brought in, you maybe extend it, or maybe maybe passing claims to the people who are complaining to you that you've done this and this wrong. This is how it started. Like, just imagine things weren't going right in the nation, and the youths decided to speak out in social media. And after speaking out in social media, the government did not listen to them. They went out to the streets to speak to the government. The government did not listen to them. The government retaliated by killing the youths and even abductions. The youths returned to social media, and they were fighting the government here and there. And also, social media is a very powerful tool. It is something that is almost uncontrollable. Just a bit of it can be controlled, with the flow of information. So they used social media. And the government again did not listen to them. And again, the youths are still communicating with the government that we now demanding that the government should fall. In fact, back in 2022, after they went to the street, they were demanding that the government of Kenya Kwanza should fall down, that Ruto must go. So they demanded that this government should move out if they're not ready to address our concerns. And the government refused, and it's still there, and just trying to play politics, and also doing misinformation, and also bringing promises that they're really not doing, things that they're not really working on. So they just want some mouth and play of lips. So this has been happening. And again, the youths have decided to communicate to them that now we want you dead. They're communicating, they're saying, these presidents that we have, the leaders that we have, that are not listening to us, and have decided and have said that they're not getting out of office, and they're not doing what is necessary to be done, so they need them dead. So it is just a communication, a form of communication that the people are using, the people of Kenya, especially the youths who are up to taking up their nation, who are up to changing how systems run, and up to revolutionizing their nation in all sectors. You know, we are still down. We are a growing country, like it is a growing country with a very vast population. Yeah. So the youths are demanding that things must be done quick, and all sectors of economy must be brought together to build a stronger economy and to make Kenya reach its real potential.
Thank you very much. You've heard it from my good brother with Kaboko. And here on the hot seat, where we give you different perspectives, the Turning the Mirror podcast, we end by saying to Ruto and your CSS like Murkomen and the rest of those who are making up this regime, respect is earned, not forced. Bye-bye.